Okay, I think we are ready to go live also, because some students join to us via YouTube directly, right? So some students do that also. Right, I believe we are good to go. Fine. So let me share the content of the meeting, and let's try to go over them one by one. Okay. So we are seeing how to prepare for chemistry. That is the first topic which we are going to discuss. I assume most of you would have already prepared for JEE main exams, right? And in fact, you have got your results for JEE main exam. You would have now understood that the level of the questions, as well as the concept in which the questions are asked in JEE main versus BITSAT, it is completely different. So, Sebastian, have you observed this thing? Have you observed this difference?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the idea is questions in BITSAT are rarely going to be calculation intensive, but they are more in number, right? So when you are doing chemistry practice, your aim should be you should be able to finish that section in maybe in half hour, at max in 35 minutes. You should not be spending more time than that. And when I say you should be aiming for half hour, the thing is it comes with practice. So suppose you have a tendency to read question very, very slowly. In fact, in JEE mains and JEE advanced, it is very much needed also, because their question can be extremely tricky. But here you will find rarely the question is tricky. What it requires is either your quick memory about that concept, or it requires a very simple calculation. So the idea is you should develop the habit to attempt question quickly. Some of us have the tendency, to keep on reading the question twice, thrice, then look at all the options two times, three times. That kills time. So when you are doing any question with respect to chemistry of BITSAT, you should do it quickly. Okay. With respect to preparation, I would say that it is not entirely based on NCRT, but it is mostly based on NCRT. Okay. So when I say it is mostly based on NCRT, there can be some question in uh, previous years. We have observed there have been some ores which are not mentioned in NCRT. Okay. There can be a couple of questions. There can be a method of purification which is not mentioned in NCRT. That is completely fine. If there are a couple of questions out of 130 odd questions which you haven't studied, that is not a major thing to panic, right? The idea should be whatever you have studied from NCRT in previous 2 years, you should be able to revise it well. You should be able to apply it well. If you are able to do that, you would be scoring good marks in chemistry for sure. Okay. Formulas should be on your tips. It's not that formulas are taking, like you have to derive the formulas. No, they should be on your tips. The things which we should learn, they should be crammed for sure in these, say, 10, 12 days, whatever we have with respect to first session. So that is most important thing with respect to chemistry. Any one of you, if want to discuss anything with respect to preparation strategy of chemistry, please ask me. Feel free to ask. Just
सर जो
हाँ,
ये हमारा पॉलीमर्स वगैरह और जो एनवायरमेंटल केमिस्ट्री वाला पार्ट है उसको लाइक कैसे पूरा रटना ही है या फिर उस पे उतना
उसमें
फोकस डाले या नहीं वो पूछ रही हूँ।
श्रेयस, वो आपको देखना पड़ेगा कि ऐसा समझो कि आप उस चैप्टर से कितना ज्यादा कंफर्टेबल हो। सपोज करो आपने पढ़ा हुआ है, लेकिन अभी उसमें क्लैरिटी नहीं है, बट अगर आपने उस पर 1 घंटा स्पेंड कर दिया तो आपको सारे जो भी नाम है वो दोबारा याद आ जाएंगे। अगर आप इस स्टेज में हो तो आपको डेफिनेटली वो 1 घंटा स्पेंड करना चाहिए। सपोज करो आज आपने 1 घंटा दे दिया, एग्जाम से 2 दिन पहले और 1 घंटा दे दो। अगर उसमें से 1-2 क्वेश्चन आएंगे, आपने देखा होगा उनसे बिल्कुल डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन आएंगे कि ये वाला पॉलीमर कौन से कैटेगरी का पॉलीमर, कुछ एग्जाम्पल दिए हुए इलास्टोमर कौन से होते हैं, नीचे 4 नाम लिखे हो, डायरेक्ट मेमोरी बेस्ड क्वेश्चन है। अगर आपको लगता है कि आपने पहले रटा हुआ था जेई मेन के टाइम, आपको याद भी हो गया था, लेकिन अब आप भूल गए हो, दैट इज कंप्लीटली फाइन। बट सपोज यू नेवर क्रैम्ड इट एंड नाउ यू आर थिंकिंग टू क्रैम इट, मे बी इट इज नॉट अ गुड आइडिया। ठीक है?
ओके सर।
Yes, someone else is asking. Okay. एनसीईआरटी इनफ है या नहीं, ऐसा क्वेश्चन पूछा गया है इनऑर्गेनिक के लिए। एज आई सेड, मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स इट वुड बी सफिशिएंट, बट यू शुड नॉट बी सरप्राइज्ड अगर आपको मेटलर्जी में कुछ ऐसे ओर्स, कुछ ऐसे प्योरिफिकेशन रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस मिल जाएं जो कि एनसीईआरटी का पार्ट नहीं है। यू शुड नॉट बी वरीड अबाउट। एट मैक्स यू कैन रेफर अ कपल ऑफ बुक्स, बट आई वुड से उससे ज़्यादा बढ़िया आप जितना आज तक आपने कवर किया है उसको अच्छे से देखो। टेस्ट सीरीज जो आपने ज्वाइन की हुई है उसमें देखो, उसमें आपको कुछ क्वेश्चंस एनसीईआरटी से एक्स्ट्रा मिल सकते हैं, उनके बारे में पढ़ो, वो ज़्यादा ज़रूरी रहेगा। ओके, मान्या का डाउट है, सिंस देर आर 30 क्वेश्चंस, सो मेनी चैप्टर्स, सो दैट कैन यू Manya, this question might be correct with respect to JEE Main or JEE Advanced. This question won't be correct in BITSAT or VIT for a very simple reason. Each one of you will get a unique paper. I hope you are aware about this. आपको पता है ये चीज? आप में से हर स्टूडेंट को एक अलग पेपर मिलेगा। इसका क्या मतलब है? So there is a big set of questions and every one of you will get selected question from that set. But none of you would be having same as the other person. Okay? तो जिस तरीके से बिटसैट का पेपर या वीआईटी का पेपर या कई काफी सारे और एग्जाम्स हैं, दे मेक पेपर यूनिक फॉर all the people. So even if you see a interview, say of a person who took this exam last year, and he is saying that there were 10 questions with respect to say thermodynamics, it is completely fine. It is true only for that person. Okay? So you should be preparing all the chapters with almost equal importance. The thing is, if you are not comfortable in a particular chapter, you should not be stressing it too much right now. That is important. Luke, I think I'm able to answer your question also. Make sense? Okay. Anyone else? Is anyone else having any doubt related to it? How do
evening,
we
sir.
maximize? Yeah, good evening.
सर मुझे ये पूछना था कि फिजिकल, इनऑर्गेनिक और ऑर्गेनिक का वेटेज इक्वल रहता है या अलग रहता है? ये किसकी ज्यादा रहती है?
ऑर्गेनिक का थोड़ा सा कम कह सकते हो, बट फिर से वही चीज आ जाएगी कि आपके पेपर में कौन सा वेटेज ज्यादा आ जाए ये हम नहीं कह सकते। लेकिन ऑर्गेनिक की ऐसी कॉम्प्लेक्स रिएक्शन जिनमें 5-5 स्टेप्स दिए गए हैं, ऐसा नहीं होगा, ऐसे बहुत कम चांसेस हैं। तो यानी जो सिंपल इंफॉर्मेशन है, जितना एटलीस्ट एनसीईआरटी हमसे बोलती है कि ऑर्थोक्रिसॉल और कोई और पैरा का कंपाउंड है, उनमें अगर हमें बॉइलिंग पॉइंट का कंपैरिजन पूछा जाए तो उतना
हाँ
हम
जी।
जरूर कर पाए। ठीक है?
हाँ सर। ओके सर।
यानी आप ऑर्गेनिक को उस तरीके से मत सोचो कि आपको सिक्वेंशियल रिएक्शंस आनी चाहिए, वो सब आप जेई एडवांस के लिए बचा के रखो अभी, बट बिटसैट में इस तरीके से नहीं है।
ओके सर।
या
थैंक यू।
श्रद्धा, आपने पूछा है बुक के बारे में। यस, इट इज गुड बुक, यू कैन स्पेंड सम टाइम ऑन इट। Any book is good as long as it is helping you in some chapter wise questions, but please understand, it is not about our test series. Whenever you want to do practice really, you should go with the test series, be it ours, be it some other. Okay? because the real paper would be on a system, right? It won't be a pen paper thing. So book is good when you are doing chapter wise practice, but if you are taking full length mock test, I would say you should go for test series. Is that fine? Okay, great. So I believe we are good with at least the first aspect, which is how to prepare for chemistry part. Now let's move to the second aspect, which says how to prepare for logical reasoning. Okay. Now there are two things which I want to tell you. First thing is, most of you would be able to solve logical reasoning questions without practice also. But again, the problem is with respect to time. If you do some good practice, if you understand the concept, if you know what kind of questions are expected, you would be able to solve that question maybe in 20-25 seconds. Okay. First thing first, there are many topics in logical reasoning, but BITSAT has specified only 10 topics. I hope you have seen the brochure and you know which all of those 10 topics are. For those 10 topics, even if you simply you copy paste that topic and put it on YouTube, you will get some strategies, some tricks to like work around those questions. Say there is a series completion question. Okay. It can be a AP, it can be GP, it can be something else. You will see multiple videos with respect to that thing. I would suggest you can take those topics. You just try to see at least one video with respect to each topic. Okay. Maybe 10-15 minute video, not more than that. You shouldn't be seeing 5 hours long video in which they are just solving 10 questions. No, that much expertise is not required. Okay. Also, if you just want to see question specific approach, we have also uploaded 5 videos of each topic on our YouTube channel. You in fact, we have tried to make it less than 1 minute for each video. Okay. So if you see shorts on our YouTube channel for each topic, 5 videos we have done. We will do the same for English also. Logical reasoning we have already done. But idea is you first learn the approach. You should see how you are rejecting. So when a person is explaining, he or she will explain you how to reject an option. Okay. How to make a choice between the two options which are very similar. So that approach you should learn with respect to each, and then you should practice from a good source. Okay. There are freely available resources for logical reasoning also. There are like test series. Of course, in our test series also, you will find questions from wherever you do. But idea is first learn the approach of doing a particular question. There are questions on analogy. You should learn them, how to go around them. At times, what you will do, you will get to the an answer, but that would be a wrong answer. Okay. So suppose this is also very important. Suppose you tried analogy question 15 times before your BITSAT exam, and out of those 15 times, 14 times you got it wrong. It is very clear that you are not good at it. Leave it. Why even bothered about attempting that question in the real exam, right? So that actually brings us to the third part, which is how to analyze your papers. Okay. So, okay, before that, any doubt related to part 2, how to prepare for logical reasoning?
सर
Yes.
सर एक बार आप वो 10 टॉपिक मेंशन कर देंगे
10 टॉपिक्स मनन मैं मेंशन कर दूंगा. ठीक है, मैं ब्रोशर से अभी आपको कट पेस्ट करके दिखा दूंगा थोड़ी देर. ठीक है. ओके. अंकिता, about such facts, I would say it is again to show you that when there is reasoning, it can be at times based on some factual information also. Okay. It is not always required that it would be based on factual information, but at times, yes, it can be. So it is not meant that you should start seeing geography books now. No, that is not needed. But suppose some question is there, you should not be baffled by it. That's the meaning. Is that fine?
Sir,
Yes. Banajini. How
मुझे
do I pronounce your name?
बनर्जिनी।
Banajini. Yeah.
सर मुझे ये पूछना था कि जो एनालॉजी है उसका ज्यादा से ज्यादा क्वेश्चन कहाँ से प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हैं?
As I said, आप एक बार लिख दो, सिंपल यूट्यूब पे लिख दो कि एनालॉजी क्वेश्चंस लॉजिकल रीजनिंग, दैट्स इट. Okay, you will get
Okay, sir.
many people who are explaining you the logic. Okay, first you
Okay, sir.
understand that logic, then you can practice from the series, or you can practice from freely available resources on net also.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir,
Yeah.
how is Aryan book for BITSAT, sir?
You can consider it. The idea is you should be comfortable with it, and you should be
Okay.
seeing that there should not be very obvious mistakes in it. Okay, there have been some books in which we have repeatedly heard that there are mistakes. So if you find it, maybe it is not a good choice. If you feel that mistakes are not there, you can go ahead. Okay, about the level of the series versus actual BITSAT, Shraddha, what happens is at times you will get a paper which is on a higher side. In fact, we can discuss about slot booking also. It is a general perception that papers which are in the later slots, okay, they are slightly difficult. So the series has been designed in such a way that you are able to handle a difficult paper also. Having said that, yes, there are some papers which are slightly above BITSAT level, but none of them is as difficult as say JEE main level. Okay, so the idea is a slight increase in level is very much intentional, but at the same time we have kept sure that the level is not too much higher. Okay, Vedant,
Sir,
you have, yeah.
सर आई हैव वन मोर डाउट। सर मुझे ये पूछना था कि अभी बिटसेट बहुत शिफ्ट में हो रही है, तो जैसे जेईमेन की परसेंटाइल आती है हर शिफ्ट की, तो वैसे ही बिट्स की मार्क्स मतलब डिफर करेगी, मतलब परसेंटाइल ऐसे कुछ आता है या मार्क्स ही आता है बस?
आपको डायरेक्ट मार्क्स मिल जाएंगे जैसे ही आप एग्जाम सबमिट करोगे.
ओके सर, तो अगर सपोज कोई शिफ्ट इजी आ जाता है और कोई डिफिकल्ट आ जाता है तो?
थोड़ा बहुत शायद कुछ करेक्शन रहता होगा, बट इट 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 डिपेंड्स अ लॉट ऑन व्हाट योर एग्जाम वाज.
ओके सर, थैंक यू सर।
Welcome. So then there is how to increase marks in BITSAT, practice and analysis, which we are just coming to this. If you are scoring 250, yes. If in our test series you are scoring it in 230 to 270 range, you will get your real marks. So our test series has been, I would say, made keeping this in mind that the marks you get here versus what you get in real exam, they are almost same. Okay, quickly coming to how to analyze paper, then of course we will do some doubts for chemistry part. So this thing is very important. What I have observed is students keep on attempting papers without analyzing the previous paper. This is not at all a very good habit. Please understand. Suppose there is same question in paper number 1 and paper number 3. Okay, you attempted paper number 1, you did that question wrong. और फिर आपने जब पेपर नंबर 3 किया, आपने उस क्वेश्चन को फिर से गलत कर दिया क्योंकि आपने पेपर 1 को एनालाइज ही नहीं किया था. I hope you got the point. Doing a paper without analyzing the previous paper is simply waste of time. It is not at all an effective practice. Instead, what you should do, suppose you are attempting a paper from 9 to 12. First thing, you should always attempt paper in the slot which you have chosen for your exam. अगर आपने आफ्टरनून स्लॉट चूज किया है तो सारी प्रैक्टिस उसी टाइम होनी चाहिए. अगर आपने मॉर्निंग स्लॉट चूज किया है तो उस टाइम में करो, कोई इशू नहीं. जो दूसरा स्लॉट बचता है, you should utilize it for analysis. Okay, now what does analysis means? Analysis means you should be doing a question by question analysis that what went wrong why you were not able to get the correct answer for this question. There can be 2-3 reasons. One is you did not know the concept. कोई बात नहीं है, क्या अभी हम उस कॉन्सेप्ट को सीख सकते हैं? आप जल्दी से उसकी थ्योरी चेक करो अपने नोट्स में से, अगर सीख सकते हो तो बहुत अच्छी बात है. सेकेंड इज अभी आपको वो कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं आ सकता है, नो प्रॉब्लम, लीव दैट थिंग. अगर उसका आसान क्वेश्चन आए तो अटेम्प्ट कर लेना, अगर उसका मुश्किल क्वेश्चन आए तो अटेम्प्ट मत करना. थर्ड इज आपको वो कॉन्सेप्ट आता था बट आपने या तो कैलकुलेशन मिस्टेक कर दी या आपने सिली मिस्टेक कर दी. पूछा था विच ऑफ देम डू नॉट, आपने कर दिया विच ऑफ देम डू. तो इस तरीके की मिस्टेक्स को समझो. अगर आप सिली मिस्टेक कर रहे हो इसका मतलब आप क्वेश्चन आराम से या ध्यान से नहीं पढ़ रहे हो. अगर आप कंसेप्चुअल मिस्टेक कर रहे हो तो बस ये देखो कि क्या आप उस कंसेप्ट को सुधार सकते हो और अभी आपके पास टाइम नहीं है उसको सुधारने का. ओके, so when you do it for all the 30-40 questions which you got wrong, then you will get the idea that okay, maybe we could have improved say by 20 marks if we could have left those questions. Okay, you can also understand that okay, this thing I was not aware in this paper, but in next paper now I'll do it correctly. Okay, so analysis is very important. I have seen some students requesting for reattempt of paper. So, you know, in our 2 series, Progressor and Master, we have allowed students to reattempt the paper. When you reattempt the paper, one of the strategies can be, suppose you have attempted paper number 1, okay? You should not attempt it immediately after seeing the solution. No, you already know the solution. What is the point of reattempting? You should attempt it after 5-6 days when you have like a sufficient time gap. In my opinion, what you can also do is you can, if you have a crunch of time, you can attempt only those questions which you left at that time or which you got incorrect at that time. Okay, you should not, or if you have sufficient time you can attempt the whole paper, but the focus should be on those questions which were either left or which were wrong previously. That is very important. Okay, so such things, if you keep in mind while doing analysis, you can improve a lot. I hope this point is clear. Okay, so with this we complete the general discussion part for our session. Now we will resort to the doubt part of this session.